Okay, I want to move on to this news about the accused pipe bomber from January 6th. Things are kind of interesting here. First, okay, there's a pair of reports here. My God, I don't know if you saw this, but today the New York Post is reporting that the suspect, Brian Cole Jr., quote, has secret online life, obsessing over My Little Pony. I'm sorry. This is a thing. So my dear friend took her daughters when they were young to a My Little Pony convention that was coming to town at a hotel. She was like, "Oh yeah, that's fun. You know, my daughters love My Little Pony," not understanding that it's actually for pervy men. Mm-hmm. It's not actually. These conventions are not for little girls. They are for pervy men, many of whom are connected to the furry community who will show up there. It's a very bizarre situation. Now, there's no allegation in this piece that this pipe bomber is a furry, but what adult male is obsessed with My Little Pony? I'm sorry, there's something wrong with that person. And what the Post reports is he was a highly active My Little Pony fan. He was seemingly obsessed with the toys marketed at young girls, creating art of plastic pony dolls, remixes of songs about them, and writing fan fiction dedicated to them. His works, writes the Post, are spread across various social media accounts linked to his email and phone number. Posting as iDelta Velocity, he apparently uploaded 87 pictures of My Little Pony fan art to one forum, showing various pony and unicorn characters. One is depicted with a bionic leg brace. He appears to favor pink or purple ponies with long, multicolored manes. In one post, a Star Wars-inspired pony says in a speech bubble, "I'm not cute, I'm deadly," which Cole says is a line from a video game, Star Wars: The Old Republic. A Tumblr account focuses on My Little Pony art, which used one of his usernames somebody who has his username commented on a drawing of a pony with an M60 machine gun, writing, "I'd give her an RPG. What can I say? Explosions are cool," referring to a rocket-propelled grenade launcher. Very interesting to have the potential pipe bomber talking about how explosions are cool in all caps. Then they explain to their audience, a man who is part of the My Little Pony community subculture is known as a brony. And they reference the fact that as of 2017, this is a large enough subculture that they were holding annual conventions. Didn't I tell you? And we actually pulled some video from one of those conventions just so you could get a look-see, Stu Burguiere. I mean, I know you haven't been, but let's take a little look at what you might encounter if you were to go to the next one.
There's no straight bronies. They just haven't met me yet.
I've met plenty of straight bronies. They're fine. They can come to my rodeo anytime. Oh my God.
Do you ever kiss these dolls?
No. I snuggle, but that's about it.
What do you think of guys that are into My Little Pony?
Nothing wrong with it. Guys who cosplay My Little Pony are hot. They're hot.
What do you like about My Little Pony?
It's innocent.
The characters themselves are very cute. I like the music, and I love Pinkie Pie, and how she boings, and how she defies gravity.
Why so many people like it? Because it stops them feeling lonely. Because they see cute little colorful animals on screen, and they kind of wish their friends were like that.
Maybe I should be Pinkie Pie.
There you go. Here, you can home like this. Yay! Yay!
Why is it so popular now with adult men?
I think because a lot of them want to sleep with Fluttershy.
Do you want to hook up with Fluttershy?
Yeah. I don't think you even have to ask.
Oh my God, Stu. I actually dispute that that's not furry culture. That is furry culture. There's something very off about those people. I think we can all agree. It wasn't all men. It was a fair amount of women too, some of whom the men want to sleep with some character in the My Little Pony world. And I think that this guy's interest in this community will come as a surprise to approximately no one.
Not at all. Absolutely no one. And I do want to say that I was going to wear a horse head for this interview. I'm so glad I didn't. It would have matched. It would have been very awkward.
So awkward.
It's not surprising at all, is it, Megyn? And I don't know about you, but like their first couple of incidents we had here with people in this generalized community, whether it's the trans community, the furry community, or the brony community, committing acts of violence, I kind of had I had a nerdy reaction to it, which was like, I don't know, is this really supported? Is it just one person and we're all kind of noticing it because this is, kind of bizarre lifestyle? And then they just keep piling up. The incidents keep piling up and piling up and piling up. And we're talking about, some of the major stories of our lifetime. Charlie Kirk, tied to these communities. I mean, many of these have happened. And I think it's real and in a way not surprising when you kind of drill down and think about what the process is, particularly in the trans community, but also I would assume in the brony community at some level. I assume, by the way, most bronies are not committing violent acts. I don't want to paint too broad a brush on this wonderful community. But it's true that I think there is a connection there with one trait across all of these communities, which is a lack of connection to reality at some level, right? Mm-hmm. The idea that you can't recognize
real humans.
Right, like we can't recognize what gender you are. Like that is a major situation like going on with you. And if you're dealing with it, I'm sorry about that, but like that's a major problem. Like it's something that you're not necessarily connected to reality. If you are, maybe dressing up as a furry animal and thinking, living a good chunk of your lifestyle in a mascot uniform. Again, it's a strange choice at the very least, and I'd put the brony situation in that category as well. I think that's a connection. I think that's a real thing, because when you are fantasizing about all of these different situations that no one else around you can recognize, no one else around you sees, you're seeing things that other people don't see. We typically arrange that with a problem of recognizing reality. And when you have that,
a delusional disorder.
Yeah, and maybe that is connected to taking an action like shooting a father in front of thousands of people is rational. That's not rational. It's not rational thought. But when you get down these roads and you have the lack of ability to connect a foundation of shared understanding with the rest of the people around you, it's not surprising you take erratic action, everything from a violent action to maybe dressing up as a pony.
You mentioned Charlie Shooter. Tyler Robinson is the man accused of that crime and whom I believe 100% is responsible for that crime. My only real question, and it was confirmed as a subject of inquiry currently by FBI Director Kash Patel, is whether Trans Tifa had a role in it, whether some of these more radicalized trans people out in the community either knew about it or possibly helped. So that remains to be seen. But I have zero doubt Tyler Robinson was the shooter. So he was connected with furry culture and the trans community. Thomas Crooks connected with furry culture and went by they, them. Now you got this accused pipe bomber. This is a new one, to be honest, like connected to the My Little Pony. But I'm telling you, I wasn't surprised one bit because of my friend's experience. I remember we were like, Christina, no, this is, you're going to get an eyeful. And sure enough, she did. She sent us pictures from the convention center, like it was at a hotel. And my friends and I were all laughing. She's like this innocent mom with her two girls. Anyway, they're just not for nothing because Debbie Murphy pulled it. For those of you not familiar with My Little Pony, here's a little ad for My Little Pony. It's marketed appropriately to little girls, who is the target audience. What'd you say, Deb? Oh, it's from the 80s, of course. Yes, we all remember. Here we go.
My little pony, my little pony. I comb and brush her hair. My little pony, my little pony. Tie a ribbon to show how much I care. My little pony, my little pony. I take her wherever I go. My little pony, my little pony. Oh, I love her
little
so.
Girls
I love you, my
brushing
little
the hair of their
pony.
ponies.
My Little Pony, each sold separately. Collect them all.
Yeah. Only now we have the modern day pipe bomber twist of I give her an RPG. Explosions are cool. Trying to get either a machine gun or an RPG into the hooves of the My Little Pony. And there's more on this accused pipe bomber, Brian Cole Jr. A former high school classmate told the Washington Post that Cole had carried a My Little Pony backpack, and it will come as a surprise to no one, had been teased for it, because that is not something any normal, straight, non-furry man would ever do. And then the Post points the following out, New York Post. The subculture of bronies was very online and unique and attracted a lot of male fans who were breaking gender norms, which attracted a lot of attention, said Dr. Daniel Chadbourne, an assistant professor of psychology who wrote the book, Meet the Bronies, the psychology of the adult My Little Pony fandom. Okay, so he says a lot of male fans who are breaking gender norms. I'm telling you, it's all part of the same effed up mental sickness still. He goes on to say the subculture here was not generally sexual, but he's not surprised that within the community, some of its members are troubled. Someone who is disaffected is often going to look for spaces to engage in for a sense of identity and belonging. This is all further evidence that these truly, like for too long, we've been treating them all as harmless little kinks or fetishes or just differences. And I'm sorry, they're not harmless. Like they can be, but I would suggest to you that the majority of people who are drawn to furry culture, and certainly the people who find themselves declaring that they are trans, have serious psychological issues that you are better to stay away from. And we are better as a society if we can seriously treat early as opposed to indulging it.
Ever read the label on a typical bag of chips? It's often a science experiment of seed oils, MSG, artificial dyes, and mystery ingredients. Masa is part of the growing movement to bring back real food. Masa chips contain just 3 ingredients: organic corn, sea salt, and 100% grass-fed beef tallow. Not only do these chips avoid the bad stuff, they also taste delicious too. Snacking on Masa chips is nothing like eating regular chips. With Masa, you feel satisfied, light, and energetic with no crash and no bloat. And if you love Masa, then you will love Vandy Crisps. Vandy, which is Masa's sister company, makes the most delicious 3-ingredient potato chips too. Ready to give Masa or Vandy a try? Use code MK for 25% off your first order at masachips.com or vandycrisps.com, or simply click the link in the video description or scan the QR code to claim this delicious offer. Don't feel like ordering online? Masa and Vandy are now available nationwide at your local Sprouts supermarket. Stop by and pick a couple of bags up before they're all gone.
Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.